Good morning, everyone. It's Stretford. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope everyone's doing good. Everyone's doing fine. It is a new day. It's a new dawn. It's a new light. For Manchester United, not quite light, but you know what? We're getting there. We're getting there. A little bit more positive today because I'm going to talk about more things to do with transfers and things like that. We don't want to hear too much about Jim Ratcliffe and the negativity that is surrounding Jim Ratcliffe, of course. I've been speaking about that this morning. Of course, if you check out my tweet, I read an article in regards to Jim Ratcliffe and the Glazers. Check it out, guys. Check it out. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys. And don't forget to smash a like on the video. If you could possibly do that for me, be absolutely fantastic. You absolute legends. Thank you, everyone, for joining me this morning, of course. So now let's dive straight into it. Manchester United are, building quite a hefty transfer list of players that they want to come in, whether in January, whether in the summer. Now, the most important thing about what Manchester United are doing is that they're looking for the next up-and-coming player that is going to come through. And this is a technique that INEOS have been trying to implement for the last few weeks, of course, and months. They want to get the next big thing. They want to get the youngster through, like Obi Martin, like a Kone, these type of players coming through that people don't usually know, they don't know about, but you know what, could possibly become the great players. Of course, when Jim Ratcliffe came to Man United, he did say that he wants to make his own Mbappes. He did mention that Man United has spent $1 billion in the last 10 years and don't have one £100 million player, which is obviously a big concern. But Man United are looking to change that. They are looking for the next up-and-coming thing, of course, the next up-and-coming players. And one of those players is Diego Leon. Diego Leon is a young left back who plays in Paraguay. He's a Paraguayan left back. I mean, there's not many Paraguayan players who play in England who have come to England, let alone Manchester United. He is only 17 and he would only require a 3.1 million transfer fee. Man United are currently in talks with Diego Leon's representatives, and it is seen that this deal could be done as soon as January, guys, as soon as January. And if that happens, we will have a decent left back on our books at last, guys, at last. Someone who will be hopefully consistent, who will be fit, who will be ready to go, of course, guys. Now, Cerro Porteño, of course, are in Paraguay. And the outlet CL Merlo have been reporting this as well. Manchester United are very close to a deal with Cerro Porteño. And you know what? All great, because at the end of the day, a new player, a player with relatively unknown, 17, coming to Manchester United. Love it, my friends. Love it. Absolutely. I mean, you know what? We need that talk. We used to do these type of deals, didn't we? Remember with Chicharito, players like that. I mean, not many Paraguayans have played in England, of course. Brighton Hove Albion do have a Paraguayan called Julia Enciso and Miguel Amorim, who played for Newcastle. There's been a couple of Paraguayans who've come to England who have played in England, of course, guys. Gavilan has played in England, of course. Christian Riveros has played in England. Fabian Babuana has played in England as well. And Paulo da Silva. So those are the only Paraguayans who've played in England. Diego Gomez also has played in England, plays into Miami right now. But, those are the only Paraguayans who played for England. No Paraguayan has played for Manchester United, of course. So Roman Sosa as well, of course, plays for Nottingham Forest. So, it is building. They are building talent. And it is rare that Paraguayans leave to go into the top 5 leagues, of course, guys. But when we look at this player and we look at him in depth, okay, he is a young player. He's only 17, guys. He's only 17, of course, guys. And we have to obviously realize that this is one for the future. And Arsenal are interested in Leon as well. They are also interested, of course. He is one of the most expensive, highest valued young teenagers in the world, along with Naipan and Rig and Viskovic and Pace, those type of Lemmy Yamal, Esteval, these type of players. He is in that circle. He's in that mix. Diego Leon is in that mix. So this was what makes it more exciting, of course, going forward, of course, guys. Good morning, Sam Houston. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Come on, man. It's time. Big up yourself. Big up yourself. Best fan channel at the moment. Thank you so much, Sam Houston. Really appreciate your comments, your lovely comments. Really, really appreciate the compliments. You know what? I do it for you guys. I do it for you guys. Hard work for you guys. Absolutely. But you know what? Today represents something different, because the good thing about football, The great thing about football is that there's always a new day. There's always a new dawn. There's always a new light. And that is why I call this show Breaking Dawn. And you know what? Because Manchester United have had a torrid time this last few weeks. We've had a torrid time on and off the pitch. People have been losing their jobs, you know, and I can't help but feel so sad for those people. It's heartbreaking in a way, isn't it? It's heartbreaking. And you know what? I don't feel good about that. And INEOS are not covering themselves in glory right now, but obviously we have to give them time. The most important thing is that Man United get successful. But you know what? People are falling off conveyor belt, or people who have normal jobs like me and you. They have normal jobs and they're normal people and they're losing their jobs, you know, and I can only imagine the stress that these people must be going under and the pain that these people must be going under. But today I want to talk about Man United and transfers. And look, subject to us saying that we have no money, I mean, there are outlets out there, I mean, fan channels out there have said we're going bankrupt, for goodness sake, lies to get clicks. And we don't do that here. I tell the truth. INEOS have money. INEOS want to cut back. INEOS are penny pinching. INEOS want to make a profit at the end of the year, basically. So in regards to the turnover, you know, and it's not the best way to do it. You're going to get a lot of enemies. You're definitely going to get a lot of enemies, of course, guys, if you do start, you know, sacking people. People have been there 25 years. The kit man's been there 40 years, guys. One of them. Unbelievable, isn't it? And you know what? You can't help but be sad for these people. You can't help but be disappointed by the way things are going, that Manchester United have to cut back on so much. You know, it is sad, you know, and I mean, I hope it gets better. I really do hope it gets better. I really hope that, you know what, we do have a light at the end of the tunnel. Hopefully we do have a light at the end of the tunnel. I really do. And if it doesn't happen, you know what, then it's INEOS to blame, of course, guys. It is INEOS to blame. Big up Fanatic 8. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you. Another player that has been on Manchester United's radar, and not the first time, is a young lad called Johan Bakayoko. Johan Bakayoko is a right winger, can play left winger as well. He's 21 years old, but he would request a fee of around 45 million euros. Of course, he was interested, showing the interest of Manchester United last December under Erik ten Hag, but it has reignited that Manchester United do want another winger and are looking at young alternatives to come into that team and create and do good. He's had 6 appearances this season, 1 goal, 1 assist. Not amazing in the Dutch league. He plays for PSV Eindhoven. So, I mean, in regards to this, is he an upgrade? Is Johan Bakayoko an upgrade? Is he an upgrade? He's 21, from Belgium, 45 million euros. Can we do better than that? I mean, I want a player that's going to come in and is going to automatically improve our chances, automatically going to improve our team. That's what I want. And I don't think that a Bakayoko would improve our team, so to speak. I don't think he would. He's that much better than a Garnacho or an Ahmad, you know, or even an Anthony. You know, is he that much better than them? Is he heads and shoulders above that everyone else on the winger? If he can play Ruben Amorim's unique style, of course, which he plays wing backs, then that might be an option, of course, because Manchester United are looking for a certain type of player who can play that, you know, that very specialized system that Ruben Amorim plays. And maybe Johan Bakayoko could be that guy to do that job, of course, guys. So, you know what? It's another one on the conveyor belt, as I said, and another name on the list of players that we want. Now, Manchester United have a number of players on this list. Man United do have a lot of quality on this list as well. So, you know what? They are preparing for the winter, for the summer transfer window. They did say before the season started that this next transfer windows won't be, this transfer window that we just had won't be a one-off. We will have transfer windows like that again in the future. Exciting stuff when you think about it. Really exciting stuff, of course. But you know what? We'll have to wait and see. Talk is cheap at the end of the day. Lots of talk, lots of speculation, of course. Johan Bakayoko is another one that Man United want, of course, guys. And we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Another player that Manchester United are interested in is a young USA player named Nimfanza Bachimas. Nimfanza Bachimas is only 16 years old. He's had 3 matches for Charlotte this season, so he is playing first-team football. I know it's in the MLS, but he is playing first-team football for Charlotte right now. Okay, so he's deemed a phenomenal wonder kid. He is 16 years old. He is a forward. He is an attacking player. So he can play as a winger as well. He's versatile. Only 16 years old. Now, these are the type of players, Nimfansa Bakimas is the type of players that Manchester United will be looking for. Man United are looking to the future. Man United are looking to build a new identity, a new culture at the football club with young players that want to play for the football club and fight for the football club. This is an interesting deal. This one right here. And Manchester United have given Nimfansa Bakimas the opportunity to train at Carrington, and it is deemed that he will be at Manchester within the next couple of weeks to train in Carrington. Now, you know what? This is one for the future, of course, but he is playing first-team football at the moment, despite being the MLS. I know it's the MLS. It's still grown-up football, isn't it? It's still a professional league. So for a 16-year-old to come in and play 3 games this season for Charlotte and to come to Manchester United, it is a good one, of course, guys. It is. I mean, we remember the USA International. Do you remember Freddie Adu? Adu, push pineapple and that tree. You remember Freddie Adu? He was deemed a phenomenal talent, an exciting talent, but didn't quite live up to his expectations. Now, we can't paint everyone with the same brush, of course. So 16-year-old Nimfansa Bakimas is another player that Man United are interested in going forward. You know, so we are looking and exploring at deals that could possibly be bargains. Of course, Diego Leon is only going to cost up to 4 million euros. So, you know what? We're looking at those bargains, ain't we? We're looking at those players who can be for the future, and we're not going to spend an absolute fortune. The days of Man United spending fortunes on players is over. Generally, it's not working, is it? It's not working. These absolute fortunes that we're spending on players is not working, guys. Of course. Big up, Pearl. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you. Of course. Absolutely. Absolutely. Is Ricardo Pepi linked with us? I saw his figure. Your thumbnail yesterday. That was yesterday, GK. He is linked with us. Pepi is linked with us. Pepi is on Manchester United's wish list. Basically, our targets, one of them is Pepi to play the forward role. Pepi, of course, is interested in a lot of Premier League clubs at the moment. He has scored like 10 goals in 15 appearances. I think he's 21 years old. I believe he's 21 years old. A very, very talented forward that Man United are looking at as well. That you bet your bottom dollar that every young player that is out there that Man United want are very talented players. And Man United will have a lot of business going on in the summer, in the winter. Now, of course, Rashford has left the football club. He has been sacked, of course. This is a scary time if you're a Manchester United player, because this shows you that they are not afraid to get rid of players at a drop of a hat. If these players do not perform, and then these players do not put on a shift for Manchester United, they will be out the door. There's talk about Marcus Rashford leaving the football club. It's said that Marcus Rashford has been causing too many issues. And I mean, we have been saying that for quite a while, haven't we? We've been saying about Marcus Rashford. Is it more trouble? Is he more trouble than he's worth? Is it really worth it? Now, there's been speculation, of course, about Marcus Rashford, but there's also been some quotes about Marcus Rashford coming in right now. The chances of United finding a buyer were remote, given he earns around $325,000 a week and not shown any consistent form. There is a greater chance of him being offloaded in the summer. Very few clubs have resources to match the current wages. Now, this is what I've been saying in regards to Marcus Rashford, is that his wages are astronomical. $325,000 a week. That's not including these bonuses. That's not including these sponsorship deals. $325,000 a week. Absolutely diabolical for the performances and output that we're getting at the moment. So he could be leaving the club, but Manchester United, to get rid of this player, will have to take a hit. They would have to lose the player for a cut price, because the wages are so astronomical. And this is something that I was speaking about yesterday, of course, guys. Something I was speaking intensely about yesterday, of course, guys. Manchester United are open to selling Marcus Rashford in the summer, and many consider top offers in January. His high salary is a key factor, and his departure could help the club meet FFP requirements. Very, very important. FFP, of course. If we want to sign players, if we want to move on, if we want to spend some money, we have to look at the FFP. Of course, Man United are burdened by the incredible debt that they have accumulated over the last few years, isn't it? Loads of debt they've accumulated, unfortunately. So Man United do need to look at the FFP, and getting rid of a player like Marcus Rashford on astronomical wages, 325,000 a week. I repeat, is, you know what, a must for Man United. Man United do need to get rid of this player. They do need to move on for Marcus Rashford. He's too much drama. He is drama. He is a soap opera, Marcus Rashford. And as much as I love Marcus Rashford as a player, when he first broke into the side, and I was so obviously excited about him as a player, he's regressed. He's regressed immensely. He has not improved. We have to be honest, guys, that he's not improved the team, of course, guys. We have to be honest. Of course, there are concerns over Marcus Rashford's lifestyle, as well as fears he is no longer as focused on football. Manchester United were open to the sale last summer and remain open to offers. And this is exactly what we've been talking about. He's not interested in football. He's interested in his brand. Now, the problem of him leaving Manchester United is his brand. This Manchester born and bred helps his brand. It helps his brand. It helps him, you know, give that rags to riches sort of mentality that, you know what, he's one of our own stuff that helps with his brand. So if it's up to him, if he does leave the football club, because he's going to feel like, no, this is going to harm my brand. If I leave Man United, this is going to hurt me and my brand, you know, and this is the problem with the players that we currently have at the football club. They're more interested in the brand than actually winning on the football pitch and scoring goals and becoming a success at our club, of course, guys. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's read some of your comments, guys. Absolutely. Big up, GK. Have a little sneak peek on this, guys, to Julius Soler, a left back from Argentina. Yeah, mentioned him already, mate. Mentioned him already in the summer. GK, you weren't around in the summer when I was talking about players. I'm way ahead of the game, my friend. Way ahead of the game. At the end of the day, look at my previous videos. Man United have a number of left backs on the list, of course, guys. Julius Soler is a left back from Argentina. And Medina, absolutely. Yeah, left side. Yeah, the same player I've been speaking about. Of course, I've spoken about him already. GK. Absolutely. I know football like the back of my hand. It's my life. You know, at the end of the day, I work in football. I do football. And, you know, I'm constantly talking to people around football. I've got people at Man United I talk to. And if it's not reported, it's not worth reporting, trust me. But that is a name that I did mention in the summer, of course, guys. If you look at the guys who've been here since the summer, much love to you. Big up everyone, of course, guys. And I was obviously talking about transfer targets and stuff like that, etc., etc., etc. So, you know what? Looking forward to the future with Man United. Looking forward to a brand new dawn for Man United. Man United, how we have to get used to these sort of players coming to Man United, like a JK said, a Soler, like we have said, a Diego Leon. These are the type of players that Man United have to get used to. Man United fans have to get used to it. It no longer are the days where we're going to absolutely smash it and spend 60, 70 million on one player. Man United culture has changed. Man United are getting rid of people at the club. People at the club who've been there for years. And it's sad what we're seeing, of course, guys, that these people are losing their jobs. Really disappointed in regards to that. Never thought I would see this at Manchester United, of course, and I'm absolutely disaster, man. Absolutely. It's great. So you have David in Talent, you're a superstar. So are you, GK. Thank you so much for the compliments, my friend. You know what? Man United have about literally 100 names, right, on this list that Man United will be targeting. Majority of these players that they have on that list are young players that are up and coming, and a lot of people do not know about these players. I mentioned about Pepi. No one's mentioned about Pepi in the media. I mentioned about Pepi. A lot of Manchester United are interested in Pepi. I know that he has not been linked with Manchester United yet. He's linked with other clubs in England, but rest assured, Man United are linked with Pepi. Pepi is scoring goals for fun, assisting for fun. He's one of the most up-and-coming prospects in Europe at the moment, of course. Absolutely. Of course, guys. So we look forward to the future of Man United. We're excited for the future of Man United. There's a lot of negatives coming out, but obviously we have to mention these things because obviously, you know, it's affecting people's lives. It's affecting people's jobs and their livelihoods. People don't earn much money at Man United, these people, and they're being cut. What are they making? There's talk about the bonuses at Man United being slashed by 50% from 100 to 40, you know, and you know what? This is Christmas time. I mean, a lot of people celebrate Christmas. This is a time not to get rid of jobs. This is a time not to sack people. This is a heartless, cruel regime that we're witnessing before our very eyes at the moment. And you know what? I do not praise this. This is classless, in my opinion. It is classless. I know people are going to say they're going to have to make money somehow, but cutting 30 grand here, 30 grand there, cutting the Christmas bonus, etc., 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 I don't think saves a lot of money. thousands, probably thousands. We got players on 325,000 a week, just like we said with Marcus Rashford, stinking out the place week in, week out. Yet we're sacking people on 30 grand a year. 30 grand a year we're sacking people. How heartbreaking is that, guys? Absolutely. Regarding about, I'm seeing him from the days. I like you, Sal. I have eyes on up and coming guy. Absolutely, GK. Big up yourself. You see the talent. I see the talent. Big up yourself. Big up yourself. We know he's going to be hopefully at Man United very, very soon. Morning, Prayo. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're well. 33 likes already this morning, so keep smashing the like and subscribe buttons, please, everyone. Thank you so much, Gray. You're absolute legend. Thank you for joining me this morning. I hope you're doing well. Have you got a day off today? Is it today you got a day off, mate? I heard you say today was your day off. Was it yesterday your day off? You deserve a day off regardless. You deserve a day off, Grayo. Absolutely, you deserve a day off. Now, if we go into some more quotes that have been occurring over this next 24 hours, I mean, quotes all day long for Man United for days. Quotes for days, of course. Of course, Edwin van der Sar has been speaking about Manchester United and about Eric Ten Hag and the way INEOS are going forward. He said what Eric achieved with Ajax, the success in Europe, the way we have played, expected that at Manchester United too. And it didn't happen, did it? He expected it at Manchester United and it didn't happen. Why is that? What's the true reason behind that, Edwin? What's the true reason behind that? We know it's not just the manager. We know it's not just the players. It's a multi number of things that have occurred at Man United. Why we don't get success. Of course, the famous quotes from Eric Ten Hag about we can't play the Ajax way. We can't play the Ajax way. That's true. We can't play the Ajax way at the moment. We didn't have the players to play the Ajax way. The league is too difficult to play the Ajax way, of course. He goes on to say, it's always good to have time, but at some point, you have to get results. Absolutely. I'm sure the results will come. Now, Manchester United are going to play with a new system. Of course, a manager probably wants to bring in 1 or 2 players in January. The most important thing is to have a discussion with a technical director, the director of football, to see what needs to change. Funny enough, we don't have a director of football anymore because obviously Mr. Ashford is no longer at the football club. Anyway, we carry on. Replaced. Added. I'm sure that discussion will take place, but in the meantime, a manager has to perform and has to win games because the position they are in at the moment is not very good. Absolutely. Look, very good comments from Edwin van der Sar, but what we have to understand is not just the manager at Manchester United. It is indeed the players as well. These players who've been there for years, who flattered to see, who've been down tooling, who go out partying, who go to Belfast, those type of players have been the problem at Man United as well. It's not just the manager, it's these players as well. Absolutely, absolutely. Edwin van der Sar goes on to say, I met, in regards to Ruben Amorim, I met him 4 or 5 years ago. I think we played against Sporting. I watched the youth league game and he was there too. We had a good chat. I think he is an open man. His English is good. I haven't followed Sporting all the time. And I'm sure the people at the club have done their job to find a successor who I hope will bring success to Manchester United. We concur. Edwin van der Sar, absolutely. We hope that Ruben Amorim is the guy because we're tired of sacking managers. We're tired of this nonsense because it's not going to work. Because at the end of the day, Ruben Amorim is one of the most talented managers in Europe, especially young managers in Europe. Probably the most talented young manager in Europe is Ruben Amorim. And you know what? We have to give him a chance, of course. Edwin van der Sar says, in regards to United restructuring, I think what I feel, what I hear, what I read, I think they've been signed in a certain way that they can back each other up. Unfortunately for Eric Ten Hag, the results didn't work. And the problem is that with regards to the results, you know what? If the players down tool, if the players don't play, you're not going to get results, of course, guys. And you know what? This is the culture that we have to remove from the football club going forward because these mercenaries, I call them mercenaries, need to leave. We need to have a new dawn, a new day, a new light. That's what Man United need. And hopefully that will come very, very soon, of course. Those are the quotes from Edwin van der Sar. Of course, I'm wishing Edwin van der Sar the best of health. He did have a health scare, I think a year ago, wasn't it? I'm wishing him all the best going forward. A legend of a goalkeeper behind Peter Schmeichel for me. Peter Schmeichel, number 1. Edwin van der Sar, number 2 for me in our last 30 years, if I'm being honest with you guys. Absolutely, absolutely. Of course, guys. Let's read some of these comments. Yeah, figure it out. Big up. Morning, Grayo. Big up, everyone, of course, joining me today. The legends are in the house. Morning, Chico, my friend. Hope you're well. Sal, no days off at the moment as I'm really busy in the next few weeks. I have 2 weeks off at Xmas, but I'm being self-employed. I don't get paid, unfortunately. Damn, goodness me. At least you have Christmas off. That's a good thing, you know what I mean? But you know what? Sometimes it's better to be self-employed. I am the same. Grayo, of course, I have to work non-stop. You know what? I have to work no days off. No days off, Sal. No days off, Grayo. Of course, guys, this is how we do. Of course, guys, we get it in. That's what we do. And you know what? One thing I would say is that, you know, what we need to look at as people like Grayo, people like myself, those same people like me and Grayo, we're the type of people who have been sat at Manchester United, people who work for a living, people who, you know what, rely on that job heavily, you know, for their livelihoods, for the paying, for put food on their table. You know what? And I'm very disappointed in what's been going on with Man United over the last few months or weeks, of course, guys, with these cutbacks and stuff. Well, excellent, Liza, how you doing? After 18 years of mismanagement, Glazers, Ruben can't just magic this crap away. The project menu is going to take time. Liza around me, you know what? One thing that what upsets me, what I'm a bit worried about is that the Glazers are still there. The Glazers are that dark cloud that are hovering over Man United and been hovering over us for 18 years, of course. Now, until the Glazers have gone, Man United cannot truly move on because their influence is still there. And as I mentioned on Twitter today, I mentioned it about the Glazers, about their influence in regards to their doings at the football club. Their doings at the football club, the way what they are at the moment, what they are implementing in regards to their leadership and their decision making. Now, I'm going to bring in something with you real quickly, guys. It is from my Twitter page, if you don't mind. But I'm going to bring it in, guys. I'm going to bring my Twitter page in this, if you don't mind. Of course, guys. I bring my Twitter page into the house. I bring that in. Right. Okay. Now, this is my Twitter page. Of course, guys, don't forget to follow Stretford Post, by the way, guys. Stretford Post, don't forget to follow. The last tweet I wrote, and I want you to read this, right? It's an article I wrote myself. I composed it myself. And the title is The Glazers Dark Cloud Still Hovers Large. Okay. So, the Glazer family remains deeply entrenched in the operations of Manchester United, holding ultimate authority over the club's most significant decisions. Despite the ongoing speculation and narratives surrounding their supposed reduced influence or the potential for a full sale, the reality is that they still wield considerable power. As a majority shareholders, the Glazers retain control over the board of directors and have veto power over any major operations or strategic changes. This includes transfers, managerial appointments, commercial partnerships, and long-term planning. Even with the arrival of the rival external investors or minority stakeholders, such as Jim Ratcliffe's 25% acquisition of a stake in the club, the Glazers' overarching influence remains intact. They dictate the club's direction, approve financial budgets, and make final calls on investments, whether in the squad, infrastructure, or global expansion efforts. Absolutely. It is crucial not to be missed by PR narratives or public statements suggesting otherwise. While the Glazers may delegate certain responsibilities or share decision-making with advisors and executives, such as Jim Ratcliffe or other board members, this delegation does not equate to relinquishing control. At the end of the day, they retain the power to override any decisions or proposals that do not align with their vision or financial interests. But for years, the Glazers have been criticized for prioritizing profit over the club's competitive and cultural needs. Their history of leveraging the club's finances through debt acquisition underscores their tendency to place financial gain above the concerns of the fans. Their continued involvement ensures that the priorities of Manchester United remain closely tied to their business interests, even at the expense of a footballing success or operational transparency. In short, the Glazers' role as majority owners guarantees their dominance over the club's decision-making until there is complete sale or they relinquish their shares. It's naive to assume they are not involved in Manchester United's day-to-day operations and long-term trajectory of Manchester United. The recent reports of Sir Jim Ratcliffe's further job cuts and ticket season increases at Manchester United are deeply concerning. These measures aimed at tightening the club's financial operations will undoubtedly have a profound impact on staff who keep the club running day to day. Many of these employees are ordinary people with families, mortgages, and rent to pay, people who depend on the club for their livelihood. The prospect of job losses and financial strain on loyal fans highlights what it feels like an era of penny pinching and cost cutting. For many, this reinforces the belief that Ratcliffe's partial takeover merely continues the Glazers' legacy of prioritizing profits over the people. Let's not forget, this is the same ownership structure that plunged the club into debt while lining their own pockets. The situation underscores exactly why fans pushed for a full sale, like myself, the removal of the Glazers entirely. A fresh start, free of debt and free of toxic legacy of financial mismanagement, was what the Qatar bid seemed to promise, which was what the Qatar bid seemed to have promised, of course. While some claim that the Qatar bid never existed, those of us who followed the process closely know otherwise. The bid was real, and so was the opportunity for transformative change at the club. It's vital that the fans remain vigilant and do not fall for attempts to rewrite history or downplaying the consequences of this ownership model. Manchester United deserves a better club built by the Manchester United deserves better. A club built by the fans, for the fans, not a cash cow for billionaires. Absolutely. That is my little article today, guys. That was my article today. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to share it. Obviously, I'm very concerned about what's going on at Man United at the moment, and I'm very concerned about the job cuts and people losing their jobs, of course, guys, which is absolutely heartbreaking for a lot of people, guys. I don't agree with it. Big up, GCF. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Really good to see you. Really good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Have you read the book, World's Biggest Cash Machine? Not yet, but I'll check it out. Absolutely. Big up, big up. A hard read for Fergie lovers. Yeah, Fergie made a mistake. Look, you know what? At the end of the day, Fergie made a few mistakes, in my opinion, over his tenure. He was not absolutely untouchable. He did make mistakes. And unfortunately, the biggest mistake probably is the Glazers. Because the mistake of the Glazers has resonated throughout the years. And obviously, you know what? It has harmed us to this day. But you know what? I would never obviously criticize Ferguson, because Ferguson gave us the greatest times in our history and built us up to the club that we are right now. To be this expectant is because of obviously Sir Alex Ferguson's legacy that he did at Manchester United, of course, guys. But I'm not to say that he didn't make mistakes. The Glazers are a massive mistake. They're a huge mistake at the end of the day. And to be honest with you, one day I pray that the Glazers leave the football club. I pray they leave the football club. I pray that they get their dirty hands away from our legacy and our history and our football club, because that's what they are. They're dirty, greasy Glazers, and I've called them that for years and years and years. And you know what? That whilst they are still at the club, whilst they are still making decisions, and they do have the final decision. Let's not forget, they do have the final decision. We're going to be under this cloud. We're going to be under this black cloud that has been hovering over us for 18 years, of course. Liza Rami, it's true that Sir Ratcliffe only 25% stakeholder. Glazers hide behind him, trying to make it look like the Brit owns the club. Qatar was the one. United effed up. Absolutely, Qatar was the one. But obviously, we had a bunch of self-righteous, virtual signaling people and in the media that were against Qatar. You know, just like the World Cup, the virtual signaling was disgusting, you know, and at the end of the day, they knew nothing about Qatar. I live in the Middle East. I'm from England. I live in the Middle East. I've lived here nearly 3 years. One of the most amazing places in regards to human rights there is, right? And I would say that as a person with experience. But because they didn't want an Arab to take over at Manchester United, many people, they slandered the bid, and Jim Ratcliffe squeezed his way into the running and obviously went to bed with the Glazers. He facilitated the Glazers in selling the football club to them whilst they stay at the football club, making the crucial decisions. Of course, INEOS was supposed to have footballing decisions, but Avram Glazer, is it Avram Glazer or Malcolm Glazer? One of them, Avram Glazer, is still there making choices, making decisions, still at the football club making decisions. I mean, until they are gone, until the Glazers leave the football club, we will be burdened by their incompetence and their greed. They don't care about this football club. It's the reason that we're losing Old Trafford, our iconic ground, Old Trafford. We are moving from there because of what the Glazers have done and the neglect that the Glazers have implemented on our football club for many, many years. And to be honest with you, it's still happening now. Cutbacks. And people say, but this is not the Glazers. This is INEOS. This is INEOS. This is INEOS who Glazers employed, guys. Glazers employed these people. They knew what was going to happen when they came into the football club. They knew what was going to happen to this football club. They knew what the INEOS were all about. So it is the Glazers' fault. Of course, it's the Glazers' fault. They love this. And as my guy just said, they're hiding behind INEOS. And to be honest with you, it's working for them because not a lot of people are talking about the Glazers at the moment. You know, they're not talking about the Glazers. People are not protesting as much. We had small protests last week in regards to the rising of ticket prices and season ticket prices. But believe me, guys, this is just beginning. This is just the beginning. This is just not even the tip of the iceberg. Man United cuts are going to get worse. They're going to get worse. Now, this doesn't mean that Man United are bankrupt. This doesn't mean Man United RIP. It doesn't matter about that. Sensationalist things like that, of course, guys. This doesn't mean that. What this means is that they're concentrating primarily on the football team. They're concentrating primarily on success, but they're sacrificing people who work at the club, the hardworking people that work at the club. They're sacrificing those people for gain on the pitch and financial gain. So they want success on the pitch and they want financial gain. That's why they're making all the cutbacks. The greed is unrivaled. The ownership is unrivaled in regards to the incompetence and the greed. And to be honest with you, we have the worst ownerships in football history, to be honest with you. Big up GCF. Big up yourself, my friend. Bless up Sal. Other phone died like this Rasta stops. Big up Vibe TV. Big up yourself. No problem, my friend. Big up Rasta. Big up, mate. Radcliffe is turning out to be an extension of the Glazers on steroids. JCF, it is starting to look worryingly like that, my friend. And I didn't want to come on this stream and talk about negativity because I did speak about the signings that Man United had after. And Man United will sign players because INEOS have the money to do that. But what INEOS are doing, they're making money another way, which is obviously a very sinister way, which is cutting people's jobs, people on 30 grand a year, whilst the likes of Casemiro and Marcus Rashford are earning 300k plus at the football club. You know, whilst someone is losing their job on 30k a year. That's before tax takes it off, mortgage takes that off, bills take that off. You know what I mean? Very, very sad times, of course. So I'm off to work. Have a great day, everyone. Catch you later, Gray. Have a great day at work, my friend. Take it easy, brother. Hope to see you later on, my friend. Good, the legend. Of course, we can buy players without spending 200 million. We should now have to buy such guys. You won't get finished, guys, every time in the mentality we're wasting money on Depay, Marie. We wasted a lot of money. In fact, we spent $1 billion in 10 years, GK. $1 billion. And then when you look at $1 billion, how many 100 million pound players do we have at the football club right now? We don't have any, really. Let's be honest with ourselves. The closest we're going to get to a 100 million pound player is probably Mainu and Garnacho. Maybe, you know, that probably, but they won't even reach 100 million because at the moment they're not performing on the pitch. So they'll be 60, 70. So we don't have any 100 million pound players despite us spending $1 billion in 10 years. So that is where the problem comes from, of course. Abdullah, big up this channel. True Glazer, 75%. INEOS, 25%. Glazer still in control. Glazer is a fraud anyway. Glazer, big up Abdullah. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Absolutely. 25% is nothing. And the Glazers still have the final say on everything in regards to Manchester United going forward. Avram Glazer is making choices. He was at the meeting between, obviously, the Glazers in Manchester before Eric Ten Hag got sacked and they decided to keep Eric Ten Hag. He was in the meeting, guys. He was there. He's making the decisions. He's making the choices. He's very outspoken. He's the one who wanted to stay at the football club. He's the one who didn't want Qatar and wanted the Glazers to stay in the football club. He's the one, of course, guys. Call it as a racism. Then the Saudis calls regarding the World Cup. The media knew if Qatar take over, United will become superpowers. They know that it's not only to do with that. Of course, as you said, it lies around me. You know what? At the end of the day, we have to face what realism is, what the world is, what the realism is, and what's going on in the world and what people are doing in regards to what's going on in the world, of course, guys. You know, that's what it is. At the end of the day, we you know, the way people think about certain people in the ignorance, you know, and you know what, at the end of the day, it's dumbfounded. It's nasty, it's horrible. And obviously we have not moving forward until we got whilst we still have certain people that run the world, these type of political opinions will always exist. They will always exist, of course, guys. and I don't want to make this a political show, of course, but obviously we do know why these things happen. Added on top, they do not want Manchester United to be a successful football club. Man United are very hated in the media, subject to popular belief. Man United are very hated in the media. Media do not like Manchester United. We've caused these people, these journalists, these ex-pros, loads of pain over the last 30 years, isn't it? Loads of pain. And they hate us. They rebel. They're nasty. They want to bring down our players, bring down our manager, even our ex-pros like Gary Neville talking about Ruben Amorim, who's been in the job bloody 3 weeks, guys. Talking about him doing this wrong, doing that wrong. And sorry, I don't want to know about, if these players will work in that system or not. I'm not too interested about whether these players work in that system or not. They have to do it. Otherwise, they're out the door, of course. Yeah, I mentioned it. That is not serious. Serious is when you get rid of Marcus Rashford. That is when it gets serious, of course. Exactly a good point on Jim Ratcliffe. Cut down wages of players. Absolutely. The players is next. They need to be next. Absolutely. Big up, Dylan. How you doing? Ahmad for me. Big up, Dylan. Ahmad to go or Ahmad to stay? What do you mean? Hi, guys. See Anthony Shaw, Rashford, Wednesday, Mount. These guys should be replaced. I agree. Absolutely. I agree. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rasta. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like. Thank you very much, you legend. Sal, what you seeing about this ownership scenario in the future? Look, at the end of the day, I'm not going to completely go negative. INEOS have done some good things, and we have to mention this, and we have to always keep a very balanced view when we're talking about things and not go totally extreme on one side. Right? INEOS have done some good things. They've done some good things in regards to players coming in regards to Ruben Amorim. I think those are good things. And they worked well with Ruben Amorim, getting him in the door very quickly. But the negatives are starting to outweigh the positives. That's the issue that we're having at the moment. It's the negatives. The negatives and cost cutting are very, very serious things. Raising the prices of season tickets, raising the prices of tickets to earn some money. Is not what we call Manchester United, of course, guys. It's the working man's club. The Manchester United were built on the working man and woman. They were built this football club to what it is right now, and not for a corporate snobby man, who's a billionaire who works in. Let's be honest, guys. He's a cyclist, man. He's a cycle man. He doesn't know anything about football. He's not a Man United fan. He's a Chelsea season ticket holder, and we knew all that from before. But one thing I hope and I pray. Right, regardless what's happened, these horrible things and these heartbreaking scenarios that have been happening at this football club, I hope that they succeed, because they better succeed. Because what they're doing at the moment, I don't agree with. And you know what? I thought they had money. I thought they're billionaires, but they're penny pinching at the moment. So I thought they were the kit man, for example. People like that. People have been there 25 years. The popular guys at the football club. So that is the problem. I know a high-profile behind-the-scenes club legend United have recently sacked, but they wanted him to make a statement that he's retired, but he's refusing. Their shithouse is scum. Look, you know what? They got rid of Sir Alex Ferguson, GCF. So at the end of the day, they painted that as what it is. At the end of the day, it was a mutual agreement. Sir Alex Ferguson left on mutual terms, of course, but that is saving money, of course, guys. At the end of the day, that's saving money. And if it is indeed more club legends are leaving the football club, then you know what? They're going to get more scrutiny. They're going to get more people disagreeing with what they're doing. They're going to get a lot more hate. So what they have to try and do is build bridges. INEOS have to try and build bridges. This is what they have to try and do. At the moment, they're burning all the bridges that they have in regards to the fan base. It's unacceptable. In particular, the reason that some of those players are on astronomical wages, underperforming week in, week out. Get rid of those players, get rid of the wages, give people their jobs, let people keep their jobs, let people pay their mortgages, let people pay their rent. And that's what I would say at the end of the day. But you know what? They're so out of touch. Jim Ratcliffe is meant to be a Man United fan. He would know about Man United. He would know about the fans. He would know about the working people at the club. Look at CAF. I wouldn't be surprised if CAF got sacked. God rest her soul. At the end of the day, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened under the INEOS and the Glazers, because it is and the Glazers, because it is the Glazers, because the Glazers, let me tell you this, the Glazers have been wanting to do this. They've been wanting to do this for years, but they knew it would cause outrage in the Man United fan base. So they've used Jim Ratcliffe and INEOS as a puppet to do the moves that they are requesting. That's what they're doing. It is Glazers are in charge of this. The Glazers are doing this. Jim Ratcliffe and INEOS are only responsible for footballing decisions. That's it. The Glazers are the other thing. They're using Jim Ratcliffe and INEOS as puppets. And obviously, Jim Ratcliffe has gone to bed with the Glazers already. So you know what? He's going to do whatever his buddy says he's going to do, which is sacking people on low wages. It's sad, isn't it? Really. Rasta Stock, Sal, the Kitman and the Club Scrubs are still there, nicking a living. And the Scrubs are still there. The Scrubs are still there, yeah, absolutely. The Kitman is gone. One of the Kitmans is gone. Absolutely. I just slander the media, guys, every now and then. Big up, GK. Ahmed is worth 100 million. Yes, probably. Not at the moment, Dylan. Not at the moment. I wouldn't say that. I don't think anyone will come in with 100 million offer for Ahmed. 80, 70, and he's not worth it. He hasn't done anything yet, in my opinion, Dylan. Although he might be in the future. Big up, everyone. Big up, Randy. Hope you're doing well. We have good tier talents. Yeah, absolutely. In the academy. We have a good talents in the academy. Unproven talents, of course, guys. Absolutely. So if we look at like someone like, let's have a look. No. So his market value is about 70 million. Ahmad's market value is about 70 million at the moment. 60, 70 million at the moment. That could rise, that could decrease, of course. I listen to it, but say nothing. Big up, Randy. Good to have you here, though. Good to see you, Randy. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Absolutely. Rasta. So even with Gary Neville, he talks rubbish. Absolutely. The only Manchester United player that could criticize the club is Roy. Roy Keane is the only one I want to see at Man United in some capacity because Roy Keane spits the truth. It hurts some people. The truth hurts. But Roy Keane never sugarcoats anything. He never sugarcoats anything. I want him in that dressing room. Look at the way he was talking about Rashford at the weekend when we lost to Nottingham Forest. Look at the way he's talking about him. That's exactly the way we talk about Marcus Rashford. And he does need that Marcus Rashford. He needs a Roy Keane in the dressing room. He needs someone like that to tell them about the birds and the bees, the way they're performing or lack of performing, of course, guys. So at the end of the day, Roy Keane is the only one I do listen to. Absolutely spot on, Rasta Stocks. He's the only one I listen to in regards to the pundits because he speaks the truth. Look, he don't particularly support Man United. He likes Man United because he played for them. But one thing about Roy Keane is very, very honest and balanced, and he would not sugarcoat it. And that's what I like about Roy Keane. And I would love Roy Keane at Man United in some form or capacity in the future to tell these players about the birds and the bees. Of course, I trust Ruben Amorim to do that. I'm believing in Ruben Amorim. I'm trusting in Ruben Amorim and this process. I'm trusting in him to work something with this team to get rid of the players that are supposed to leave. If those players do not want to play that system, they should leave the football club. It shouldn't be the other way around. We are not changing any more managers at all. I don't think any real fan of Manchester United is going to turn against Ruben Amorim, no matter what we do this season. I don't think anyone is going to turn against Ruben Amorim. Actually, I think they're going to turn against the players way before they turn against Ruben Amorim. This is no more of this. No more turning against managers. That's it. Exactly. FC Pilsen tomorrow evening, of course, afternoon where you are, evening for me. We will be doing a watch along. Of course, SC Pilsen have joined 13th or 12th in the Europa League with us. So we have to win that game. They have beaten the likes of FC Frankfurt. They have drawn with Poak. They're not that bad. So we're going to have to be careful, of course. We're going to have to be careful. You know what? When we go into that game, we have to take it seriously. Now, I'll be doing the preview for that game later on today, of course, guys. Looking forward to it. Big up, Kazi. Good morning, Kazi. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. I would like Roy Keane to come in and talk to these players. Trust me, son, they need it. These players need a lot. And in particular, the players that have been there for many years, stinking out the place. You know, these players need a lot because I'm not seeing enough from these players. I'm not seeing enough implementation for these players. I'm not seeing enough effort from these players. One thing I would say, and I would say this very, very, very concerning, in a concerning manner, is that I think these players are unfit. I think these players are unfit. I don't think they have the fitness. And I think that Ruben Amorim is working on the fitness of those players because those players don't have the fitness to play in his system. Of course, the wing-back system is very difficult. There's a lot of running in his system. There's a lot of tracking back in his system that you don't stop running. A bit like Sporting Lisbon did against Man City. If you watch the game closely, they didn't stop running. Our players give up. As soon as they go 1-0 down, They give up. They throw in the towel. They are allowed this. This is long. This is what they're like. You know, our players are like that. And this needs to change in the future. This culture of the football club needs to change. Absolutely. We need to pick our best 11. It depends what our best 11 is. We need to pick our best team, of course, guys. That's what we need to do. Our best team. As a team, we're not good. As individuals, we're not bad. As a team, we're rubbish. You know, and we need to build our best team. And at the moment, Ruben Amorim doesn't know it. He knows it almost. I don't think he knows the full best team yet. Because we've still got players coming back from injury. We still got, you know, players to play yet in different systems and different, obviously, partnerships and stuff like that around the pitch. But you know what? This game tomorrow, Rasta, this is a game that we have to take it very, very seriously, because this looks like our only chance of success, Rasta. Our only chance of success is with the Europa League, in my opinion. I firmly believe that. I believe that if we don't win Europa League, we're in big problems, massive problems, because we're not going to move up that league anytime soon. We're not going to qualify for the top 4 anytime soon, guys, in my opinion. Our academy guys will give more than this. Absolutely, GK. You look, you know what? I'm not saying that bring in 10 academy players. You can't do that. You'll get slapped up, trust me. Our academy did draw 0-0 and got knocked out of the cup last night, of course, against AZ. They got knocked out, sadly. But you know what? I would bring in 3 or 4 of those academy players to come into the squad, with the players that are obviously the good players at Man United, stay in the squad and get rid of the others. That's what I would do. 3 or 4 of the best academy players in the academy, bring them through and let them play. Because at the end of the day, they're doing bits. Our team are not doing bits. A lot of the players in the academy are not ready. They're not. It is evident yesterday we drew 0-0 and we got knocked out. So you can't be too giddy, but you have to be obviously very calculated with the players that come into the team. Meaning, basically, you have to play the players 15 minutes here, 20 minutes there, 20 minutes there to get them a bit of a feel for the game. It's a bit like what Sir Alex Ferguson did with obviously the class of 92, Cristiano Ronaldo, etc. They got a bit of football there, a bit of football there, and eventually they build up the strength, they build up the confidence, and they can play in the top level. And that's what Man United need to do, because at the end of the day, they are not performing. These players are flattering to see week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out. It's the same old. It's the same old. And we need to change the bloody story. The same record is playing on repeat, and we're getting bored of this record at the end of the day. And Man United need to change this. I would love some more youngsters to come into the club. But one thing I would say, when the young players come into the club, I don't want them to act like they've made it. This is the thing. They have to work hard. I know that they'll get new contracts. They'll get bumper contracts. They'll get they get tens of thousands a week. Of course, we shouldn't be like that. It should be earned. It should be warranted. We shouldn't be making these players rich too soon. Signing on fees. 1 million signing on fee. He's rich. I don't need to do anything now. I'm made for life. And as much as people would disagree with that, this is what happens in football. The richer you are, the more edge is taken away from you. The more edge. I mean, this is why I've been talking a lot about street footballer, the grassroots footballer, which is dying at the moment. It's dying at the moment because we're getting too many privileged footballers coming through. Son of that guy, cousin of that guy. You know, that guy's my uncle. That guy's my auntie. You know, and that is the problem with Man United at the moment. We need to get more grassroots football, the Wayne Rooneys of this world, the Paul Scholes of this world, the David Beckhams of this world, the grassroots football player. You know, and that's what we need to do. Proper talent. I like Kokonki, GK, really do. Not ready quite, 16 years old, of course. He might get some minutes tomorrow. Don't be surprised. I'm not sure if he played last night, but I think he might get some minutes tomorrow. He might be on the bench if he does fly out with Man United. I think Man United flew out last night, so I'm not sure that Kokonki will be in the squad. I have to look at the matchday squad, guys. Absolutely have to look at the matchday squad in regards to Man United and going to obviously find out that today, of course, guys. I will find that out today, of course. Yeah, Man United under 19s drew 0-0 with AZ last night. AZ Alkmaar, of course, and got knocked out of the cup, of course, guys. The UEFA Youth League by also Alkmaar on Tuesday. Absolutely. So the team that played in that game, unfortunately, we had Murlock, Campson, Jackson, Fredrickson, Amas played in that game. Harry Amas, so he won't play against Pilsen, of course. Devaney, Fitzgerald, Scanion, Fletcher, Ibrahimov, Thwaite, Williams, Wheatley. So Kokonki was on the bench yesterday. Kokonki was on the bench. So will Kokonki go to Czech Republic? I don't think he will go. Kokonki won't play. I like to see Kokonki in that squad. I would like to see Kokonki better than some of those older players in that squad rather than Johnny Evans and stuff like that. I know this is nothing against Johnny Evans and players. They've been great pros, but we need to think about the future, maybe getting them some minutes, of course. Lies around me. Ralph called it, we don't run. Ten Hag said even he punished them and ran with them. And Rubens is saying that the same thing. There is some core set of players messing around. Absolutely. Look, you know what? They've been moaning about, you know what, going home in the dark, you know, moaning about training. Ten Hag used to implement extra training when Man United used to lose games. He used to organize extra training sessions. So obviously the Man United players were upset with that. Look, I come from a generation where Man United players used to train, and Beckham and Cantona and Keane and Giggs used to stay behind voluntarily to practice their craft, to practice until they get to the best of their ability, till they get to where they were. These players are not interested in that. They're like, I'm good enough. I've made it. I'm a Man United player. That's it. You got people in Marcus Rashford's camp blowing smoke up his backside every single day, telling him how great he is. How great he is. The guy's useless. We have to understand, and we have to start thinking about maybe, just maybe, these guys are not good enough. To where we want to go, these guys are not good enough. Not at all. I mean, I said it years ago that we should have sold Rashford. We would have got 70, 80 million for him back then for PSG, of course. And it would have been bygones be bygones. Let you do your thing. And it would have been all right for him because he's obviously got a new start somewhere else in a nice city like Paris. But unfortunately, we kept him. Now his price tag is gone extremely low. We're not going to get a fraction of that, of course, guys. Not at all. So you know what? We're going to have to live with it. But I would look at getting rid of a lot of those players this winter, this summer, whenever it is. We need to move on. But one thing I'm concerned about is the way INEOS are acting at the moment, the way they're conducting themselves at the moment, penny pinching, the Glazers as well, because this is a Glazer thing as well. They're hiding behind INEOS. They know what's going on. It is a Glazer thing as well, guys. Absolutely. GK, we should give Murray some minutes. Murray's a decent player. I prefer Amas. Amas is a better player all round, in my opinion. More suited to the Ruben Amorim system. Murray's a little bit have more strength about him, but he doesn't have that output that Harry Amas has, in my opinion. Absolutely. Wayne Rooney's son is much better than Rashford. One thing I will say is exactly what I've been touching on Rasta. I'm not interested in Wayne Rooney's son. And I'll tell you why. Because Wayne Rooney's son was raised in a rich environment. He's got no edge. We need edge. We need a street footballer. You know what I mean? The street footballer, the projects footballer. Do you know what I mean? We need that type of footballer. Wayne Rooney's going to be softened down. It's not going to be Wayne Rooney. It's going to be a softened down Wayne Rooney. We need relentlessness. This is why we're going after people like Diego Leon in Paraguay. Because in South America, we still have street footballers. But Rasta, I completely agree. Anyone but Rashford right now. Anyone but Rashford. We bring him in, young player, nurture him. Maybe he will turn into a great player. Maybe he will. Who knows? At the end of the day, who knows? Guys, I love the show. It's been brilliant. It's been absolutely brilliant. It's been passionate as usual. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You absolute legends, you diamonds. Appreciate every single one of you. Every single day. Don't forget that. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to support everyone in the chats. And you know what, guys? Onwards and upwards, yeah? I'm back later on for Chatterbox for the match preview against Victoria Pilsen. We look forward to that. Of course, I'm going to be speaking about Pilsen, the dangers that they pose, and Man United's team, my team for the Pilsen game. I'll be bringing that forward, of course, guys. Have a fantastic day, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are in the world. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. Take it easy. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. And don't forget to smash a like on the way out. Have a great time. Take it easy. Bye-bye.